Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back, man, to the Project KX60 mini bike that I have. So I've been tearing it down, man. I'm going through some things. I'm noticing some things. So we're gonna jump into it today. We're gonna start tearing this thing down. I wanted to try to get it running today, but that's probably not gonna happen. I'm starting to find some more things that are messed up with it that I have to take care of before I can even start it up and try to put it in gear. So y'all just sit back and relax, enjoy the content, and let's jump right into this. So jumping right into this, like I like to do. So I've been tearing it apart, man, going through some things, and I wanted to go over some things before we start tearing it down. One, the forks are backwards. They need to be turned around, right? Two, this intake right here is completely cracked. Let me get you in here. See that all the way around. So I got to get another one. I don't think this is the original carb. We're going to take it off, go through it, see what we got to do. I need to pull the reeds out and see what shape they're in. And then I was looking at this wiring, man. So let me come around the bike over here. And look at how close it is to that exhaust. And this exhaust is not bolted up all the way, right? So there's a lot of missing little doodads and parts. And same with this side. I mean, this forks backwards. So we're gonna jump into this. We're gonna start tearing it down. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes looks can be deceiving, but no matter what, we're gonna get it going and then we're gonna ride it. I gotta go over a few more things with y'all, but as we get to them, we'll go over them. I gotta tell you guys, man, this thing is, it just looks like it's been pieced together, to be honest with y'all. That's what I mean by looks can be deceiving. There's bolts missing everywhere. There's my dogs. So I did take the gas tank off over here. And I looked in it, it does have pre-mixed oil in it, so it wasn't ran with straight gas. So I don't know what's up with that. I am putting my bolts back where I'm getting them from to help from losing them, you know, keep track of them. I do have to buy a bolt kit for this thing, man. I mean, it's missing nuts and bolts everywhere, guys. Also, look at this. So these are some of the things I was noticing. Like I was saying, that I have to take care of before I jump on this thing and take a ride, because that could be dangerous. Which I like to ride fast and live careless, but there's a difference between that and thinking that bad things can't happen, I guess you could say. So what we're gonna do now, I want to take that spark plug out. I gotta go grab a wrench, man. Y'all just hang tight. (13/16). Ooh, man, that thing was pretty snug. Now, before I get too deep into this thing, I do want to check and see if it does have spark or if it doesn't have spark. Seems pretty fouled to me. A lot of oil on there. It is an NGK BR9ES. That is the right plug for this bike. I mean, so the bad and the good kind of weighs out. Let's see what we got here. sounds good. I give it that. Let's see here. Let's plug this thing in, see what we got. Okay, throttle fully open. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's a good spark. All right. So with that, that's a bonus. Now we can kind of turn into some more. We got to take this off. I got to look at the reeds. And I want to show y'all another thing. I'm going to give my wife the camera real quick. So I noticed this earlier. Now I'm going to put it in gear. It goes into gear, right? That's first right there. See, we're in gear, but when I pull the clutch, we're still in gear. So that's another issue I have to address before I fire it up. I need to drain the oil. I need to run down and buy some oil for it, so I can take that off. It is a wet clutch, so if I just pull that cover off, it's gonna be a mess. So these here 10 millimeter, just get you a wrench. It's pretty simple. We're gonna pull this spark plug out of the way. We know we have good spark. That's a bonus. It sounds like it has good compression. I will have to go down and purchase me a compression tester. Plus, I'm gonna need a compression tester for my other channel. Oreo, quit it. Wow, somebody really had them tight, or they hadn't been out in a while. Like maybe ever. So I just wanted to break them loose. Now we're gonna pull this carburetor. This is already loose. I need to get me a Phillips. Quit, Oreo. What are you doing, bro? So we'll pull this band off here, get this carburetor off and out of the way. We gotta go through this. Oh, wow. So, thing is absolutely filthy. We're gonna leave that hanging right there for now. Let's see here. That works good. Throttle cable works good. That's a bonus. We'll get into this a little later. And then now it'll be easier to pull this off. Go ahead and get this clamp out of the way. Now the first thing I noticed was the amount of either gas, water, or oil right here inside this intake, which I'm gonna be honest, it really looks like water, which could be a really bad deal. So we're gonna go ahead and drain these fluids before we get any further into tear down. I need to go ahead and get these out of here. Plus I need to look at them. After seeing what we've seen with the reeds, I'm gonna drain this fluids and then we'll take a look. I gotta get that exhaust pipe out of the way. And then we'll take a look at what the inside of that piston looks like before we get to ripping the head off of here. So, oh, look at that, guys. So we drain that oil. Let's see what this water looks like, or this antifreeze looks like. It looked nice and green in the top of the radiator. We're about to find out. Let's pick this thing up. Well, it looks like they changed that. All right, so the fluids are out of it. That's a good thing. Now, I gotta get this radiator out of the way, and then we're gonna look up in here at that piston, and now that the exhaust is out of the way, we're gonna look down in where the reeds sit and look at the piston. From what I've seen, it looked really milky, or not milky, but wet. So that joker's on there. Oh, that's gonna be something. Oh, there goes my grommet. So 10 millimeter. And then we have a 10 millimeter on the front. We ought to be able to pull this radiator right off the side here. Two 10 millimeters. Don't forget about your slide washer, which is actually a guide washer. And oh, there's one at the bottom. Hoses ran funny. See, it's all pinched in here. There's the piston there, guys. We're gonna roll it over slow, and so we can try to get a good look at it. I mean, it looks real, to me, that looks watery. So I'm not really sure what to think of that just yet. We're gonna have to get into a top end rebuild with that. I want to show you. So this is the old piston here. This is the one the seller gave me, said he replaced. Now the first thing I noticed is the one that's in there is a 2-ring, and the one that he gave me is a 1-ring. So we're gonna jump into something a little easier first. Go ahead and get this wheel done, taken off. The cable's shot, so gotta watch out, that bike will take off on us. So there's the wheel. I mean, the drum is shot. Let's see if we can't get, look at this. That's not too bad. And they do work, that's a bonus. We do need to clean up the inside of this rim. So, this literally goes like this right here. Right, so I'm not gonna get into that just yet until I get some parts, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was good. The bearings look good in here. That bearing looks good. That's perfect. So we're not gonna get into the brakes or anything today. I just wanted to make sure, get them forks turned around the right way. So when you go back with this, you see this slide right here? There's a slide right here on your brake. I mean on your fork, not your brake, right here. This is literally gonna slide up in there, just like that, right? Then slide your axle through. Make sure your spacer stays on the side without the drum, and then line it up. and you let the good times roll, fellas. See, and then that holds that. That's for your brake. This goes in here. Now, like I stated, that'll be for a different video. I just wanted to get them turned around and see what we got. So while we're at it, we might as well disconnect all of our cables, get our cables off. The only thing I'm gonna leave on is our kill switch for right now. That's really not in the way and or bothering me. So this is one of them things that once I pull this off, y'all will see that it's broke. I mean, look at that. That's not right. So we got to pull this through, and I think that might be some of the issue with the fact that the clutch doesn't work. I mean, it could be. I'm not really 100%. That's another reason why I say I'm gonna need all new cables, everything. Something you want to remember to do is adjust your clutch in, which I didn't at first. But if you adjust your clutch in, it'll give you some slack to get it off down there on the engine. See, kind of like that. And then voila, there that is. So let me go ahead and show you these cables real quick. This here is my clutch cable, and I believe the only thing that's wrong with it is this broke right there, which that could cause an issue. I mean, this here, I mean, the front brake is shot. Look, it's stuck in there. The thing's completely destroyed. That's the adjuster right there. Or it was the adjuster. And then it's broke also and doesn't work at all. So, it's just another one of them things, gentlemen. We're gonna get into taking this cylinder head off now. So I gotta get some tools together, or should I say some different tools together. We'll pull the head off and we'll go from there. So let's jump into getting this head off of here. We got all the cables off. I've done already broke them loose. They're 12 millimeters. Let's crack this bad boy open and see what we got here. See where we're at. So these are actually head bolts and cylinder bolts. They're long enough, see? We might just get it all one big shebang, which I'm guessing at this point that'd be all right with me. Well, gentlemen, we're gonna get the whole thing. That wouldn't have been a leak there. Y'all see that? We're definitely gonna have to get some new hose. All right, let's see what we got. And voila. Got a good gasket on there. Let's see if we can't get this head off of here real quick now that it's off the bike. You want to use a rubber mallet, it's cast aluminum. It looks like they put that little tab there also for you. Just be gentle. Don't get in there and get your tool on that surface and scratch that surface up. You don't want to do that. It's just stuck on them dowels. That's all that is. There we go. I'm curious what this head gasket looks like. There was definitely water down in there, gentlemen. Look at that. You see them droplets right there? Those are water droplets. So I'm honestly glad that I tore it apart before I decided to fire it up. Let me get y'all in the light here. Look at this cylinder wall. There's no real bad scratches in there. It definitely needs a hone. And then the top of that head looks bad. So, now to the piston. And I also want to get the piston that came out of it and look at it. Look at that, guys. That's oil. So let's check this crank. There's some side-to-side play. That's not a bad thing. It's kind of excessive. I'm not gonna say that's bad. Look at this. That's rust. All right, now that we got it all ripped apart, man, now we're gonna take a look at this thing. So the gentleman I got it from told me he replaced this with a new piston. I mean, the top looks good. It could have been new. I'm not here to say that. But I did notice the scratches on the side here, which probably isn't too helpful. And then I'm not really sure on that ring gap. Now, one of the things I did notice is, look, it's another thing. It says KX60 right there on the rod. Cool. So I know what to buy parts for. Is that he said he replaced this piston with, or this one for this one. Now look at the difference in them pistons. You're not gonna tell me this piston came out of this bike. But now that we got into it that far, I need to order a top end rebuild kit. I think I'm just gonna go with the bottom end to see if we can at least get it running and see how good it does. I mean, the bearing doesn't have any up and down play, but it does have some side play, the rod bearing, or the crank bearing, should I say. So until the next video, man, y'all keep riding fast and living careless, and we'll catch you on the next one.